Hi, this is David with David's Tutorials, and I'm here to tell you how I solve the problem of roasting in the sunshine when you're riding in a car. Now, if you've ever taken a long trip in a car, if you're going the wrong direction, you know that sometimes you have to sit in the sun and you absolutely roast the whole time you're having to sit in the sun, and sometimes that can last for hours. So my wife and I recently just got back from a trip. It went 22 days. We covered 19 states. We went 6,132 miles, and at least half of that time, if it wasn't cloudy, the person in the passenger seat was sitting in the sun. I thought about this before we left, and I started thinking, you know, it would be great if I could put up a sunshade here and have it so that the person in the driver's seat could look in the outside rear view mirror and still see the traffic, but still have it blocked. And I built one. Let me show you the finished product right here. And this is what it is. It's made out of foam core board, and I've got it cut to fit perfectly in this window. Actually, there's just a little bit of a sliver. You can see it going over my face right now. But this turns the passenger seat into a much cooler, almost a cave, so that you don't get the sun beating down on you. Another thing it will do for you is it will let you sit in the passenger seat and work on a computer without picking up all of the glare from outside, or work on a tablet, or even a phone sometimes will pick up the glare and make it very difficult to see. And this particular sun shield makes it much better. It makes it much cooler to sit in the car. And you notice where it's cut off right here, the driver can, from the driver's seat, see the outside rearview mirror and therefore still be safe while driving in traffic. Now, how I built this was, I'm going to leave this up right now because I don't want to sit roasting in the sun while I talk to you. Tell you what, let me go move the car into the shade so we can have a little bit better exposure. Okay, I have moved the car into the shade so we get a little bit better exposure. We're not getting all glare and shadows here. One of the good things about this, if you have a car with a console and bucket seats, is that you can store this sun shield between the console and the bucket seat, and it pretty much disappears. At least it does in this car. Okay, I'm going to take this thing down and I'll show you how I made it. Okay. The first thing I did was I got a big piece of paper. Now, I had a box of U-Haul packing paper, which you can get, I think, for about $15 from any U-Haul store. It's giant paper that you use for wrapping up the things that you're going to pack in boxes, but it's also good. I put it in the window and I pressed it in so it conformed to the window. I had the edge right here where I wanted the edge to be. And then I took a marker, and where I had pushed it in, I just very gently marked on the paper all around the window here, and the sill of the window, the little door edge here, it goes down a little bit, so I pushed the paper down in there and I marked the marker right there. Then I took that paper and I took a pair of scissors and I cut around that mark, and I left maybe a 1/16 of an inch outside of it, because I can always cut more off, but you can't put it back once you cut it off. So I then got a piece of black-sided foam core board. Now, here is the foam core board. I bought this from Hobby Lobby, and this, I think it's 20 by 30. It costs $2.99. You can see the price tag there. The first foam core board I got from Michael's. Now, they didn't have it for sale in the Michael's decor shop by itself, but I went back to the framing department and they had it there, and they sold me a sheet of this for, I think, $4. But for $2.99, I think I'd rather buy it from Hobby Lobby. You can also buy it online. I looked on Amazon, and I think you can buy this in packages of 10 sheets. I didn't want 10 sheets. I just wanted one. So anyway, black foam core board. You can see it's not very thick at all, but that's what I used. I took my piece of paper that I had cut out, I laid it on top, and with a pencil, I just traced all the way around it and made a pencil mark with the leading edge of the foam core board where the leading edge of the paper is, which is what I wanted right here. And Then I took a utility knife, and with that utility knife, I cut on my pencil mark. Now, you always want to be sure and put a cutting board, which is one of these green plastic polyurethane. Anyway, it's a green composite that is made for cutting things on top of, because you can cut on it, but it won't go through it onto something like I did it on our breakfast table. And I certainly didn't want my wife getting mad at me for cutting through a tablecloth and into the finish of the table, so I used the cutting board. You should always use a cutting board too. Also, you should know, and I probably don't need to say this, but whenever you use any cutting tool, be sure to use all kinds of care and be careful you don't cut yourself. It's easy to do, especially if it's a dull tool. Dull tools cut more people than sharp tools, because when it's dull, you had to mash harder. When you mash harder, then it's easier to slip and you go, ah, I cut myself. Don't want to do that. So anyway, once I cut that out, I was able to get to the cutout sun shield, and I came out here and I practice fit it, and there were a couple of places where it didn't quite fit, and I was able to go back and trim it, and now it fits like you see here. I could probably make it better, but hey, this is what you call good enough. I didn't want to spend another 2 hours making it perfect when saving that 2 hours left it the way it is. There you have it, how you can make a sun shield for your own car, probably for as little as $3, and it'll turn your passenger seat into a nice, cool, dark cave for those long trips when otherwise you might be roasting in the sun. I'd like to hear how you're going to use this sort of idea for yourself, what you might do in your own car, what kind of car you have, and how well it worked for you making this sun shield. So put your comments in the comment section down below. And if you're not watching on the YouTube channel, then click on the YouTube logo in the lower right-hand corner, and it will take you to the YouTube channel, and you will be able to leave comments. You'll also be able to leave us a great big old thumbs up to let us know you like this video, and it'll also let the YouTube robots know that you thought it was good, and they will recommend it to more people. And while you're on the YouTube channel, don't forget, if you're not already a subscriber, to click that subscribe button and then the bell icon, and YouTube will notify you whenever we post another great tutorial right here on David's Tutorials. Take care, everybody, and stay cool.